go. Sure, I got everything. I'm not sure I even saved the webpage today. I think I did. Okay, it says we're going live. We are going live. Live, live, live. Guys, we are live on YouTube. Welcome today. It says moderation helps everyone feel safe. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're
Questionable.
moderating. So, right?
Everything in moderation.
If you feel safe with Bryce moderating you there from his 1980 television, well, that's color vision though, right? So that might be 1984 at least.
This is a 1982 1702 monitor here. The one I was on earlier was a 1992 Commodore Amiga 1084S monitor. This is one of the original VIC-20 monitors. The 1702.
Yeah. They didn't have color back then though, did they? It looks like it's got color.
Oh no, it absolutely had color. Yeah,
it had color back then.
In fact, if you flip down this little hatch, which most of these monitors are, the hatch is broken off, but if you flip down this hatch, there's a yellow and white plug for composite video, and then in the back would be a Luma and Chroma. So you had separate. So basically S video. Let me mute that and take this call.
Back when I used Commodore VIC-20, I had it hooked to a television. So it was, and I think I had a 13-inch black and white TV. So, and that was, we figured that must have been around 1980. So I was born in 74. So 80 or 82, somewhere around there is when I was programming on a Commodore VIC-20, and I know by the time I was 10 or 12, I blew it up over programming it with dice. So yeah, I've been, and I was going to mention this last night when I did my live for HBA. I actually spoke last night about what's happening now, what's working now, and I was going to mention, I was computer club president of my high school in 92, 91, maybe. Before we even had a hard drive. I remember in 93, I bought 4 megs of RAM for my computer for $600, 4 megs. And I was like, man, my computer is screaming fast, right? And I don't use any of that experience anymore. I knew at the time when I was in high school, I knew Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, basic languages. I took programming, second place in Florida for programming, and I used none of that programming for what we do now. So it's, one of the emails I sent out, I think yesterday or the day before, said how much easier it is now. It's a lot easier as far as technically. Now, it can be, I would say it could be more challenging to do business online now because of the expense that's involved. It's a lot more expensive to get traffic. It's a lot harder to compete for traffic, where like in 2000, we could get traffic on search engines super easy for dirt cheap. And now that's a lot harder to do. You can get a lot better targeted traffic now than you could, but not nearly as cheap as you could back then. Now you hear people like Anthony Robbins talk about how hard it was, maybe around the same time, maybe around 2000 or earlier, before there was really internet at all, and how he had to do stuff on TV and infomercials, and how hard it was back then, and how simple it is now for people, because you could do all that stuff on the internet. You don't have to even do infomercials or anything now, and it's so much simpler than it used to be. So there's a lot of changes that have made a lot of things easier for us online. There's still a lot to learn. Janine's learned there's a lot to learn, but other than tying the skills together and learning them. Now, Janine's got a little bit of a downside, right? Because Janine's been in the healthcare industry, not an office job or something like that, where Kristi had a great upside. She was in an office job a lot. So the computer part of it both helped. Her office job and her home skills helped each other. So I could see where people like Janine have a tough time because they're not hand in hand to each other. Uh, John, I'm not sure what he really does for his job, but his hobby is woodworking, and woodworking and computer skills don't necessarily go together real well. But he does seem pretty adventurous. He gets out there and he is willing and able to plug away at it and try stuff on his own, right? So,
So
go ahead, John.
I was a previous CNC and robotic programmer, so I did have some insides, and I grew up on Windows 4.1, and I was just fascinated from the day one that I could get on the internet, download something, and have it on my computer.
Right. Uh, I remember when I was actually living with my best friend and his mom and dad when I was around 15 or 16, and they brought home a computer with Windows 3.1 on it.
Was it
And 3.1 is the one
the
I
original?
remember.
Was that the original? Maybe it was 3.1 then, because I
Yeah,
thought it was the original.
yeah. 3.1 is the one I remember. And I minimized something and it took us like 4 hours to figure out how
Yes,
to get it back up.
I remember
because
those days.
because up until then we were using like DOS shell, and I mean we were still like we
Floppy
were
disk,
still
yeah.
yeah. And we I programmed on like cassette drives. I didn't have a hard drive or anything. We were playing games where we would before we started playing a game, we would copy like 6 or 8 discs and then start playing the game. You had to play on the copied games, otherwise you'd ruin the actual game. So
Uh,
every time you had to start, you'd have to copy all the discs and then play on the copied discs. And so it was such a pain. Um, and I still have, well, I don't have any of the actual stuff, but I have one of the games on like a Steam program that I really liked from back then. It's called Might and Magic, and it's like really basic stuff, but it's exciting that it's still playable, because
some
it's
like Oregon Trail type stuff.
basically it's
Yeah.
a yeah, it's a maze game that you walk through and kill monsters, but it's like all read out and
Yeah.
like the most simple walls, like you're walking through and a monster just pops up and then you key in some buttons and nothing happens. Um, but
Our
yeah,
kids would last about 3 seconds and
oh
walk
yeah, oh
away.
yeah. And we play, I bet we played for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, and then the next one came out and it was so much better. And you're like, whoa, this is amazing.
It's awesome.
So what we're going to do today is we're gonna look at some of what John has done, and we might even tweak some stuff. I want to start, I guess, with your Facebook stuff. If you want to go ahead and share,
Yep.
and we'll look at what you did, see if we can determine what went right, what went wrong, and
My,
see
what am I
see what we
sharing?
can. Um, you're,
Are you seeing Facebook?
I'm seeing Facebook. Yep.
Okay. So this is the
Okay.
ad that I ran. Do you want
Okay.
me to go into edit ad so you can see the full ad?
No, I can see enough for right now. Okay, so this ad reached 3,704 people in your audience. Almost 3/4 of those are women. 98 link clicks, and that link click is to what? Is just to your
So I put a
just to
call
your
now
posts,
button.
right? Okay, you put a call now.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Does that mean they clicked the call now button, or does it mean that they went to Hudy's Creations, which is
Well, they might have clicked the button. It might be what the link click is.
okay, so that needs to get changed.
Yeah. So what I would probably work on is some sort of freebie, and I don't know how to really do that for a picnic table, right? Some sort of freebie that you can get into their hands that you can.
So I got enough scrap laying around that I could make them little chicken feeder things, picnic tables.
Well, no, I mean I would deliver them something like like a PDF or something
Oh,
you
like
could,
woodworking plans or something like that?
yeah, some plans or maybe a recipe or um like the best hot dog recipe. I don't,
Okay.
something, you know what I'm saying? Just something
Yeah.
that would relate in some way that you can get them to subscribe to your list. Um, Even if it was something as simple as like a price list, you know, so that you can get them onto your actual list. Because
Okay.
especially with the fact that you have I know it's a high perceived value item, but you also have a high price item. You're
Correct.
trying to sell something that is a higher dollar value to a cold market. So um, because you're local, that's helping. At least um, they don't have to get it shipped to them. They're going to actually come and pick it up. And
I did a 50-mile radius or something.
yeah, yeah. And in general, they're probably going to end up calling you to order. Now, we could set your page up to where they could book an order. We could set it up to where they could, you know, maybe put a $50 down payment down. We could do something like that so that they could secure their order. And then we could get it going to your page instead of to your site
Right.
instead of to your Facebook page.
Yeah, I just started kind of playing around with a page.
This is something else I was going to mention. Is your domain through HBA domains?
Yes.
Okay. Um, can you log in there fairly easily?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to look and see if you have, some people are getting forwards for free. And if you could put if you got a free forward, or if you have a professional domain email, which I think you do, right?
Yes. John
I
Hevy
would,
at Hoodie.com.
yeah, I would put that on your Facebook versus your Gmail. Just because it looks a little more professional, you know, on your page.
Correct.
And so this step is, you don't really need to do this step because I forgot that you already had I just noticed you had a Gmail on your page. So
Yes.
I would take your Gmail off of your page.
Can we actually look at it? Because I don't know if it's got both my Gmail and
Yeah.
the HBA one. Just to make sure. You should always remind people to do that
See you, Bryce.
two-factor when they're working with other people so that you can put your phone number in.
Yeah.
All right. So where am I at here?
I'll tell you what, I didn't like the two factor on this particular page. Go to the hoodies.com. Let's see. Where I want to go is, I guess, email and office. Yeah, maybe John's probably good.
So it's got my professional one there.
It's got your professional one here. And then just go to manage. So that mail destination is probably going to, this one is just forwarding, do you think? Or do you check it somewhere?
I check it
Okay.
I have it linked on my phone.
Okay. Okay. You can forward it also if you wanted.
I can send it to my Gmail.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think you can do it right in there, set mail destination.
Because I don't get notifications for some reason for the other one. We're gonna add something or
Not seeing it there.
not seeing an add button.
Yeah, go back up. No, go to the dashboard up there, top left. Nope, not that one. Over to the right. Well, it might be the same place. Set up devices. Maybe you can't. Go over there to manage. Yeah.
Angelina, here is your reminder from Dad. Do cat litter.
Go down a little bit.
Angelina, here is your reminder from Dad. Do cat litter.
See, okay. Go to set up email on desktop, but I think it just lets you. I think it just tells you how to put it on your stuff. Yes. Maybe you can't forward them anymore. Okay.
We can look into it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll look into it. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but
So this is just a picture I threw up there.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I
did
liked
some
it.
Canva pictures.
Okay. So
And then-
these aren't pictures of the actual product.
These are actual pictures, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And so
Um,
what you're thinking is add a information box down here to give away something.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah. And something just to entice them. Like I said, it could probably even be a price list. I mean, it could be something fairly small just to get their initial, for your subscribers list, a recipes list. Like I said, just something that would intrigue them. Just trying to, I don't really know what it could be. Just something that would relate, that wouldn't be like they already have a picnic table. You wouldn't want something like how to condition your picnic table, because that's like how to do better with what you already have.
You said something about recipes. Like, what about something like how to get the whole family to gather around the picnic table on a Sunday afternoon?
Yes.
Yeah. Something like that could be good. Yeah.
Barbecue recipes.
Yeah. Yeah. So just trying to snowball some ideas that are better chances, just to be able to get you to be able to communicate with them another couple times, because basically what'd you spend? 20? I think it was like 25 bucks.
Yeah, 25 bucks.
And you got nothing really, right? You got no emails, no follow-up, no anything. So
my ego got bigger. I finally did an ad.
Right. Well, that's good. You get a little experience from it, right?
And I did do well, in one of my classes, I had to do my target audience, and I was like, I feel like females are going to open this more than males, because they're the ones that picture the outdoor gathering or whatever, and they're the ones that purchase that type of item. So, I mean, it was a pretty good split. Do you think I should A/B test that or target just women?
I don't know for sure. And that's kind of like we talked about before. That's going to come down to your experience of who's putting out the money, who, Kristi might be the one that says, "Hey, Jim, check this out," but I'm the one that puts out the money. So it wouldn't do any good necessarily to target me at all. And what I mean by that is Kristi's the one that would give me the idea to buy it.
Correct.
But she's not the one that typically pulls the trigger on anything, because she doesn't like to spend the money, but she'll drop the hints all day long. Hey, I really like this. I really like this. I really like this. I really like this. And then, or it's in the shopping cart, but she won't buy it out of the shopping cart, so,
Right.
So that's things you also got to think about. Things you also got to think about is, again, it's a big item. So even on your Facebook page, you want to try to get some interaction of people kind of chatting about, maybe what do they think about it? What color stains do you like? I mean, something so that you can get some interaction, because they're not going to buy it right offhand, probably. And you want them to be able to return to you when they do want to buy it, and again, those are things that in your experience, you got to kind of figure out, because I've not sold them, I don't think it's going to be 50 times like internet marketing, where you have to contact them for a year before they buy it, especially like I said, with it being local and they can come and look at it and those kinds of things. I think that's going to really increase the time frame. Now on here, one thing I noticed that I didn't love was, let me go to the hoodies.com. Your tables spin in a little funny.
Yeah, I was playing with the timing and I hadn't finished it up,
And yeah,
but I thought it was a pretty good.
The
thought it was
timings
a
are a
pretty
little
good one.
long, and I would probably, I feel like they would, if you brought them down, they would do better.
Can you show us how it's working now?
That's way long. And I don't like how the orange is shorter until the picture actually flows in, but I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything you can do about that.
Probably not without some code, and I'm not really good enough with code to tell you exactly what to do with that. We could get it done, but it would take a little while. Now, like I say, I think if you swept them in from the top and maybe only put like, I would put like 1 millisecond on each of them, or 1 second on each of them. Even the first one, I think, because I think the second one.
So I think the first one I didn't have anything.
Right, and I would put like 1 second on it, and then 2 seconds, and then 3 seconds, and I would do it on the animation delay, not the element delay.
Oh, okay.
So you can do animation delay, yeah, of 100 milliseconds. There you go, and then play that animation. Oh, there's none on it. You gotta select the.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's one called.
That was fast.
That was fast.
That's super fast.
The animation speed. Yeah, we'll have to check the animation speed on the other ones. See what that was. Yeah, because we'll want the speed the same. And I think, and I think the roll-in is probably fine. I'd say put it at 1100 with 100, and then 200, and then 300. I think that's what we're thinking.
So what'd you say?
1100.
This was 1100, and then 200, not 1200 yet, 200. And you should be able to, once you click on it, you should be able to use your arrow your arrow keys to move it back and forth.
Oh, I got you. Make it easier. And then we're gonna go 13.
11.
Oh, this is all the same.
Yeah. And then 3. So you're only doing 1 second more. And again, this is tiny.
I'll probably change
things, but
that looked a lot better. And I'll get better pictures in Canva and clean this up.
Yeah, that didn't wait near as long, so that's pretty good.
I like that.
And then
so another thing that I'm getting into is custom made cornholes.
Yeah.
I have a local car detail guy that is printing the vinyl for me, and I'm going to lay the vinyl right out onto the board. And I don't know how to market that. Essentially, I'm doing a set for a lady right now, and basically you could take any image you want, and I can have it transferred over to a 2 foot by 4 foot sheet of plywood, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. I really liked that thing. I think I showed you with the round thing where you can move the hole in it. Where you can move the hole around, and it kind of like I don't know if the hole was like drilled in part of it, and then you could.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. Now I don't know how that would work in something like you're talking about with an image, because it would, of course, you'd have to cut out a pretty large chunk of the image. But I thought that was pretty neat, because cornhole's been around a while, and I haven't seen anything unique in a while for it. Right. So okay, now another thing you could do here is you could put your 8 foot, 6 foot above your images, and then it wouldn't force them down below like it did. And the same with your available. Of course, you'd have to get get those the same-ish.
Same eyeballish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That
have
one,
to
that one has a spacer there. So that's what I don't like about spacers, is you don't notice that they're there.
Right. I think I had to put them in. This one looks bold and
Yeah,
not the rest of them.
yeah. Well, and one thing you can do about that is learn to copy a little more. So once you put your first one in there, then copy it and drag it over to your other places. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. And
Or
that'll
you can
help
just
with that.
you can just spell everything wrong and send it to somebody and be like, oh, you need to change how you spelled that.
Let's see. So that'll make that that'll
So-
change that.
It's our son's birthday tomorrow. He passed last year.
Yeah.
And we're gonna celebrate his birthday, and we're gonna do a birthday cake out on the big wraparound. And so that's what I want to actually be my main photo right here. And that's I don't know if you've seen the wraparound picnic table that I make.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah,
But
I seen the image of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty massive table. And I just think that that's what I want everybody to see first, you know. As I've had a lot of people sit at that table and we're just amazed. And I've had 2 people try to copy it and it did not last.
Yeah.
So, and I have the OG sign on my tree out back that has the original wraparound design on it. Actually, I've changed the design a couple times, but this one I've stuck with, and it's been a pretty solid design for me. And believe it or not, I've sold over 100 of these tables in a summer.
It's pretty
Awesome.
That is pretty awesome. So that would be another thing is get some testimonials on there of some
And I can
people that have bought.
I can snag those right from Beauty's Creations because we
Right.
do have the red table there is actually at our local ice cream parlor. I did all their tables. Where's the about or reviews, right?
Reviews, yeah.
So I could just essentially snag these and put them on my webpage.
Yeah.
Just throw them in Canva, make them look good.
Another thing, if you've got some of these like this, yeah, some of these I would put in one of those pages with the, what do you call it when you put in your pictures page, like we did for the bakery,
Gallery.
like a gallery page.
Like a gallery.
Yeah, and
Okay,
show some of
okay.
these real pictures of it too,
Okay.
with them set up, and let people see them in spaces where they can imagine it a little more. You know what I mean? They can start to see it in their space like this.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Especially right by the lake. I can't beat that.
Right. So those would be good pictures for like a gallery page. And you could do a gallery page. You could do so go back to your page, your website. And then you could even do just like right underneath of here, like under the call for more information, just put in a gallery widget
Okay.
and then start putting in pictures in, I mean, it doesn't have to be its own separate page or anything like that.
Right.
Now, of course, you don't want this to get too lengthy, and you don't want stuff to get hidden too much. Now, as far as like, if you want products, then you got to go in, you got to make your store set up. You got to put in products for each one of these, and then instead of an available, you would have your button to add them to the cart. Now, I don't know. You discarded something. Oh, just the little change.
Yeah, I just moved that spacing. I think maybe more towards this winter, we'll lean towards that stuff.
Yeah.
Smaller things that are packageable, little Christmas trees that spin, stuff like that.
Right.
I've seen some of them that I've made on Etsy for like going for like $300, and literally the cost on them are like 10. So,
Okay.
I mean, I want to kind of, spread my area that way.
So what I would work on here probably is a little more details so that you don't end up getting, everybody calling you wanting
Right.
the tiniest of details, probably, I don't know how much kind of details, what kind of wood it is, maybe details.
These are treated,
Right,
but I can make it obviously whatever they want.
Right. And then, just so that, because when you got called for more information, you don't, especially as you're running an ad to it, you don't want everybody to call you, right? Because that could get annoying. You want to filter them to some extent.
Okay.
You want to put whether financing is available. You want to put, whether pickup or delivery is available. You want to put things like, let's see, time frames, things that they're going to call you and ask you, because
So probably get my address and maps and stuff, all that stuff on there.
yeah, and you can put a map widget on here too. So now you got to keep in mind, if you put a map widget on here, you're liable to get drive-by traffic too. So you got to determine if that's what you want, because people will then assume you're an actual business and just come by your house.
I'm operating out of my home, and I
Right.
plan on using my front yard as my gallery too. So
Right.
essentially, yes, that would be okay.
Okay. So those are some things. Then your Facebook page your Facebook button there goes to your Hoodies page.
Correct.
Okay.
I picked up on all that fun stuff real early.
Yeah. Trying to think here. Okay, let's look back at your ad and go over it a little more, because I know we didn't look at it a whole lot. Okay, so your
View results.
View your results. Can we see how you targeted on here?
Yep.
Add detail. Okay, interest, beer, gardening, baseball, furniture, distilled beverage, parties, wine, home improvement, dogs, horses, barbecue, do it yourself, or golf and parents. Now the or is or parents with adult children. It's interesting. People who match. Why I put that or in there? Is that
I don't know.
Okay.
It put it in there after the 6 to 8 year olds too. I just kind of thought that targeting people with children, obviously that's my market, is people that have a family.
Yeah.
I think that's my main market.
Yeah, I think that's all pretty good targeting. And then you went 27 to 65. Okay.
I was trying to figure out a good homeowner range, like what age people are buying houses. I didn't see how to like disclude people that live in apartments or something like that.
The only thing I could say, well, you did put barbecue. I was going to say you could do grilling, which barbecue might cover. Which, I mean, obviously barbecue does cover, but you could find some more options with grilling. There was a couple magazines we talked about that might cover some too. Now the next thing is you did 50-mile radius.
Yep.
Now what you want to do is you want to kind of stick with this audience for a while and then do different ads. You might do a smaller table, you might do this bigger table. You might do an ad to even just like your lead magnet and see if you could get some different interests. So So you're going to be in a bit of a branding cycle so that some people see your page over and over. And then also you're going to want them to be going to your site too. Okay. So,
And so when they sign up, Jim, say I do like a recipe book, short little barbecue recipe book. Should I have a get response set up also right away saying
yeah,
welcome to
if-
Hubie's Creation?
yeah, if you have your all that stuff done already, I would,
Just a simple
and
little email.
just a
email.
simple little email, send something out, and then talk up your product, talk up your business, introduce yourself, a little bit
Add
about
some
your
pictures
vision.
maybe.
Yeah, let them know that you're basically safe to stop by and visit your product, so nothing super detailed. And again, it shouldn't be as challenging as internet
It's
marketing.
different. I was gonna
Right.
say it's different because we're targeting 50-mile radius.
Right. So but you are talking about 500 plus bucks too, or 350 plus, so there is a little bit of resistance there. Now you are talking about a product that pretty much is that range, so it's not like it's unheard of, I mean,
and to be honest with you, I feel like this is my like home niche, and I got people helping me build these tables, and it's going great. And so I got on the camera the other day for 6 minutes. If you get on, I think I sent you the video. And so I think this is going to help me get on camera shy. And then I want to be able to hopefully lead people to show how I went from a few tables in my yard to having a website running my business online. And I feel like that's where I finally like figured out where I want to niche.
Yeah. Another thing I would do if I were you probably is just get an iPhone set up out there where you work and just do some of the, maybe when you're like sanding, something where you're not going to end up getting yourself hurt.
Right.
You don't want to catch you getting hurt on camera or anything, but and do a video with some of the work that you're doing where they can see that you're, maybe putting on one of the little templates or something, and doing some of those kinds of things, because I think those would be pretty cool too.
So one thing you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because you know how many women watch the home shows and stuff, like building houses and redoing their kitchens and stuff like that. I've got a friend that watches it, and every time she watches it, her husband goes, "Oh."
I could have had 20,000 videos by now if I would have just videoed everything I've done.
And
so
some of those, like, they may want to watch you build their table, like, and that maybe that's a value you can add to it. Like,
okay,
watch me build your table for. I'll cut your video for $100 extra. Who knows? I mean,
you never know.
You never know.
One thing I want to say I ran into is like I set up another TikTok account specifically to start my marketing, and then I get on there and I'm not thinking, and I post a video of my daughter, and I'm like, well, that's nothing to do with my marketing. But then she got like 1,200 views and overnight, and I'm like, maybe my daughter is my marketer. I've only been able to get like 50 views.
Yeah. And I don't know, in this kind of market, I don't know with that kind of stuff, like I know the home business market.
That's it would be for the home business market.
Yeah. You can add pretty much anything, and that's helping people get to know you and stuff. This kind of market, I don't know for sure if you can just add anything, because it is a little more business. It's not quite the same as far as that kind of goes. But then again, like, I mean, you've seen commercials before where they do like flooring and the whole family's there, Like
Yeah.
my dad's so cool at doing flooring, he'll stop by and do your job, like so who knows? You never know. It's all of it's just a big test, So
Right.
let's see. Is there anything really specifically that you're not sure you can handle? Like in your site? I mean, I know you've built most of the stuff. I don't think there's anything you can't
Yeah,
do.
I think I can handle everything. I've had a lot going on, so I just haven't put a lot
Yeah.
of time into some
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Um,
but I think I know as far as how to get the PDF going. I know all that.
Okay.
This
you know that
builder,
you
this
can
builder is honestly like really fun and easy to work with.
right.
And I
You
actually,
can host the PDF in the builder.
yes, I think it was. Is it in here?
Go to, I think the gear. I usually have a hard time finding it too. Yeah, and then file manager, and then
This is
view
what I
all.
would up.
Yeah, view all files, and then you can upload it from there.
So now, is it only PDFs that can go in here?
No, yeah, your JPEGs, your PNGs, all those can go in here. And then like to get, you see the little black link? That's to
Yeah.
get the link to it. So once you get your PDF in here, you can grab your link to it from there. And then you can use that as your external link, or you can actually link to it from your, like if you put a button on your page, you can get to an external link from the button. Or
So I can put it in an email and just use this link.
yep.
I just learned something.
Okay, I learned
yeah.
something too. We both got something out of that.
Yeah,
didn't
if you need to host an image for anything like a banner on a page or something, you could do that here, or whatever, you can do that. So
Wow. You're
Yeah.
the best.
is that how you would do, like, say a restaurant's menu is on a QR code on the table or something? Is that how you would try to do that?
that's probably how I would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like that, sure. Another thing, and I don't know, you guys may not know, if you go back into there, is there's a big image directory in there now. If you go to the file manager, view all files, and then go to image directory down at the bottom, there's a whole bunch of images you can pull from that are free to use.
Search.
Yeah, and there's a search up top too.
That's another new one.
Yeah,
This
this
is pretty
is
good.
new. And they seem to be mostly like background size. Now, of course, they'll shrink down to about any size you need, but they seem to be pretty much big, like backgrounds. So, and there seems to be a bunch of them. So, yep, another addition that's been included. So,
All right, so get people to my page and get my list going.
yeah, get your list going. Somehow, even like I say, even if it's
I probably
just,
could have got 50 people off that ad that
I mean,
ran. You know what I mean?
maybe it's hard to say. Depends what you're given. Depends on. I mean, some people would even say run a contest. Now you got to be a little bit You got to be a little bit careful with Facebook and contests, and you got to be careful. Like some people will say, one of the big ways that restaurants can get a lot of people on their list is by doing a thing to like do a year's worth of free meals, right? But the challenge with that, like say you were going to give away a picnic table as a way to collect leads. The challenge with that is then people are waiting to see if they won or not, right? So now you're putting yourself in a situation where you're not really getting sales based on the contest you're running. So that can be a little bit challenging to do.
I do little toddler tables that I think that wouldn't be a bad idea to do it.
Yeah. And you could do like those, like a bird feeder or something like that too, a little squirrel table. as a giveaway, something like that. You know, I wouldn't give it away as a plain giveaway, but you could do it as a sign up to win and give one away every, I don't know, 200, 500 sign ups, something like that. You know, I don't know.
Now would you do a separate sign up page for that contest page, or keep it right on?
No, I'd probably leave it right on my main page, make them search for it a little bit, you know, because it's not your main function, you know.
Right.
But I would still do it and
just a fun little thing to do.
And you might have to do a little bit of research on Facebook if you do a contest, because Facebook kind of changes their rules a lot on contests if you can do them or not. And
one other thing I wanted to ask: do you get, when you run an ad, do you get spam like in Messenger saying your ad has violated copyright or something like that?
Oh yeah, I don't know if it has to do with ads or what it has to do with, because I seem to get them all the time. So I'm not sure what it's to do. It might, you're onto a good point. It might
it's never hurt my
ads. Yeah, no, it won't. It's just spam from other Facebook groups trying to copy your information somehow.
Okay.
They're sketchy little pages, and I'm not usually very nice to them because that kind of stuff really irritates me.
This was an AI image that I typed in, and that's what it came up with.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Trying to think of what else we can really do. It's not really too much. I mean,
so I will say this: I have a guy that he had me building a web page, a simple little one page. And he came up to me this weekend and he's like, I don't think I'm gonna need that web page anymore. I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And he's like, well, I'm gonna do some revivals, and I'm gonna go out and be an evangelist. And I'm like, well, you're gonna need a website for that too, aren't you? And he's like, yeah, I guess I never thought of that. I'm like, we can totally repurpose it. And he was like, oh, all right, game on. So, just when I thought I was going to lose somebody, it was just like the door opened right back up.
Right. Now he's got a whole new reason to have a website. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let me check and see if we have anybody.
Hey, John, do you have business cards?
I do. I need to get some more made up. I've been in lingo with the lady that originally made my shirts and getting the logo from her. And I don't know exactly how to get the logo without her sending it to me. And so I've been in limbo of, do I create my own new Hootie's Creation logo now that I have the power to, or keep the same one? And so I've just been waiting for that. Because I like the logo that she came up with. And so I've come up with like probably 5 different business cards and throughout the years.
Cool.
Yeah, with my pet sitting, I hand out business cards everywhere.
Pet sitting?
When I go out to eat, I'll leave one with the waitress.
Yeah.
Well, I figure if you get one sale off a business card, you did okay.
Right.
With the price, I feel like that's like fair. If you only get one sale, you still got your money back.
You get one sale for a picnic table, you've done pretty darn good.
I mean, just waiting for this weather to break. This weather's been crazy.
Yeah, it was actually cool here today. The other day, I told you it was like 85 degrees here the other day already. It's like, man, it's hot. But yesterday it was like 60.
We're sitting at 39, Jim.
Yeah. That's why we live in Florida.
So I shot for Tennessee, and my wife would not go for it. So
yeah,
I'm like, can we meet somewhere in the middle? Like somewhere, anywhere.
We are well, I don't know if we're debating it, but our daughter's moving to Hawaii and she has invited us. And the thought has crossed my mind to just go ahead and sell and move to Hawaii. So the challenge is, of course, is that my parents are older than their parents were when they passed away. And that's a little scary. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to leave because they could go anytime and Hawaii's a long ways away, you know. But yeah. But I'm like, it's, and I don't want to move to where my parents are because the internet is terrible. But
my son,
I was only here
like,
4 months whenever my daddy passed. So tough.
my son
Tough,
spends
tough,
like
tough.
an hour a day looking at houses. And he's like, Dad, do you know that they tell you if they have cable internet or not? He was, because I'm running on DSL and he just hates it. It's the worst.
yeah.
But
Well,
it's doing,
and
it does okay for what I gotta do.
yeah. Well, and that was one of the things I called and made sure that we could get internet fast enough at my parents' house. But it was fast enough, but the ping was 6 seconds, 6 or 7 seconds. And seconds, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So and then it was $300 for 100 gigs a month. So I mean, we would use 100 gig. When we first moved there, we used 100 gigs in like a week. And I was like, we got to learn some new ways because we can't, you know.
You go broke quick.
Yeah. I was like, this is not going to work. So we started turning stuff down and like, you know, because we were streaming everything because we were used to, you know, everything we did was on the internet. And I was like, so we're like, okay, we can only watch one show a day and we can't stream anything and we can't watch anything. We basically didn't do anything. And we were still at, you know, over 100 gigs by the end of the month. So we would end up having to, and of course they say you're throttled after that, right? Throttled meant 0. You know, so it was just terrible.
So I wanted to show you, this is what I contacted you about the other day. I didn't know how to position this hole, but I figured it out, position. And I was trying to align it from the center of the hole, but it actually Canva pulls it from the sides of the hole. Okay. So I have a lady that wants, I'm essentially going to end up making this. And so that design is going to go right to the guy that prints them out, and then he'll cut it and bring it to me, and I'll just lay it out on the wood and be done.
Perfect. And now that image total is the size of your 2 foot by 4 foot.
2 foot by 4 foot, yeah.
Gotcha.
And the only thing is, and he might have to play with it because he has to have it in what a PDF standard.
Okay.
And so I'll show you what it looks like when you pull it up in that PDF. And I did try to upscale it, but I don't know if this rigid stuff is going to show up.
Yeah.
Like that showed up okay. So maybe I just got a bad image of the M that I stole off the internet.
Could be. If it was pretty small, like you should be able to find that M in the text, I would think, and then just use it.
You think so?
I would think so.
Just like block or, because what I did there was
Try elements.
Try what?
Elements.
Try elements, you think?
the
Try
letter M.
Yeah, try M and then maybe even try Michigan after that.
Oh, space.
Well, I was thinking 2 different searches, but
yeah, I'm not seeing it there.
Hit enter. After M.
Kristi says press enter after the.
This one here, maybe?
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh,
There's
there's
a
one,
blue
that
one.
purple one.
Which one?
Go up a little bit. That
Okay.
blue one there.
Yeah.
Then just color it yellow. That blue will change to the yellow.
Back to the blue,
Go back to the blue
then,
and then click on see where the three. There you go.
yeah.
This is my yellow, right? Yeah.
Do it to all
Nice.
of them. Do it to
All,
all.
Yeah,
all
do that.
these?
Do it to all the top ones. All four of the top colors.
Oh, okay.
White
Almost like,
also.
And the white one too. Listen to me telling John what to do. Stop.
no,
It's not exactly.
Sorry.
It's not perfect.
it's not, but I'll play with it, but I do have one. How would I put I think a border on it.
What are you doing, Danny?
Driving upside down.
Was that
Danny
not
Oh,
couldn't
you
hurt.
know what I'm doing.
He's in the cockpit.
Was that not quite the right one, John?
No, I'll play around with that, but how would I put a white border around the whole outside of it?
Type in border.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, same thing. Type in border, and then you could do that, or that first one might do it, or sometimes I'd have to do it with a line also because it depends on, like, these don't always stretch both sides the right way.
That's what I was running into.
Yeah.
Wouldn't-
So
they wouldn't let me. That's all you get.
yeah. So then I would go to type in line. And then you could use those, and then you could work with that.
Rotate around. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Look like they have.
Figure
And then
out my
basically-
spacing. I'd have
Yeah,
to play
basi-
around with my spacing.
Yeah, just basically just make it as big as you know, drag it out as far as you want, and then hide it as
Don't
much
you
as you
agree
need
with
to.
wouldn't that look better? Having a
Yeah,
white line
probably.
around the whole thing.
Yeah,
And I feel like if you're playing more at night or something and you had that, at least that border, it would help.
Yeah.
Make everything stand out.
Ooh, what if
I
it's
could-
glow paint?
I was gonna say that, but it'd be probably be hard to get glow paint put on it. Be a big up price for the printing.
Yeah, I don't want to even, it's already almost $100 for,
Just
One
for the
set.
logos for that. Yeah. Wow.
but it's like dirt bike rated stuff. That's really durable.
Yeah.
I made it out of that stuff. I made one out of it 10 years ago and it's still doing good. So
Wow.
I feel like it's obviously I know it's a quality product. So
It'll outlast the wood that's under it, huh?
yeah, pretty much. As long as you don't leave it outside, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So I'll play with that. I guess that'll definitely help.
Right. Well,
He was actually pretty impressed that I was able to design it, put it in a PDF and send it to him. He's like, I don't even have to do anything. I'm like, I know. And I'm like, that way I can make it more personable to my customers where I can personalize it with them and then I can just send it to him. He can print it whenever.
I'm surprised that he wants a PDF to do it. It's not the
It's
best
work.
way to.
So I went to his shop the other day and I was like, dude, I use Canva. He's like, I've heard Canva's good. I'm like, so I sent him over. He's like, that's exactly what I need. Maybe I should be using Canva. I might have converted him. I don't know.
Hook him up as an affiliate.
Right?
We're affiliate marketers, you know.
Yep. They do have an affiliate program.
Right.
All righty.
Oh, that's the
Well,
alarms going off.
yeah.
Can you guys hear those?
Yeah.
Yeah. We do alarms for the chores for the kids so they don't forget.
That's smart.
We I won't say her name so that I won't make her talk, but the other night I said play sleep songs, and then she said, do you want to play sleep songs from blah 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 something? And then she's like, I can play waterfalls or shower or rain on the tin roof. And she went on for like literally like 10 minutes. We were in bed. We were in bed, right? Going to sleep. And she just kept naming things like forever. Like Kristi and I are laying there just laughing. We're like, oh, is she ever gonna stop?
So my son likes to, like, before bed, play with her and just ask her a bunch of questions, and it's just like it's turned into a game at night.
Yeah. Kristi loves to do this one. Alexa, I love you.
Thanks for saying I love you.
Yep.
You're just as sweet as pie.
Hey,
Know that I'll be
we have our tickets to Freedom Fest. Did I tell you?
Nice.
It's official.
So are you going in person?
Oh yeah, we're driving right away.
Me too. I'm looking at plane tickets already.
Are you?
Looking at plane
Nice.
tickets.
I got too many kids. We got to drive.
Yeah. We're
Oh.
driving. We're driving also. Mostly because I got too much girth and I don't want to get on a plane.
Way to be
But-
honest.
Yeah. So we're going to drive out there and then we are going to go on a 7-day cruise afterwards. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, I'll be in your suitcase.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've yet to do in life is a cruise.
I
Yeah.
haven't, but I'm dying to. I want to.
Well, Kristi's going
Put
to
it on
go.
your bucket list.
Kristi goes on a cruise starting tomorrow. Well, she actually goes the next day, but we go to my parents tomorrow. She goes for 4 days, and it's like $500, right?
Yeah.
And she gets a $500 onboard credit, so it's basically free for 4 days. You know,
Wow.
and then if you're supposed to spend, the idea, of course, is to spend the credit on board, and then they end up coming away ahead somehow. But she probably won't, so she'll come home with all that money and she'll go cruising for free. And her and my sister are going, but my sister that usually pops on here, and my sister's 6 or 7 foster kids or something. And I was like, no, you couldn't drag me on that cruise.
And it's spring break.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's
geez.
spring
Forget
break.
that. There was a time I would say heck yes, but not anymore.
No.
They
So,
do have an adult
Oh.
event that I plan to hang out at.
yeah.
Who,
Yeah,
who
she
will
thinks-
be adulting this trip?
I don't know who will be adulting. One of the foster kids is like 25 or 26, but
Yeah.
but she's not a very adult, so who knows? And one of them's about to turn 18. So my sister's fostered like 28 or 29 kids, and so some of these are her past kids and stuff that she's
Amazing.
kept in touch with, and they're even 2 of them are her foster grandchildren, you know. So so it's gonna be a fun trip, I'm sure. So all right, well, it's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna quickly show
Brother-
the page, and then
Brother Bryce had a question.
Brother Bryce, you got a question?
In the
He
chat.
put it in the chat.
Let me check it out.
You're on top of it, Janine.
Yeah, I was figuring I would come back for a replay if you
Looking out
answered
for my
it.
brother. Looking out for my brother.
Thank you, Janine.
I
I
love
wanna
you.
put a- I want
Love
to
you
put a
too.
text box where people can copy paste my RSS feed link out of the text box and would prefer to have a button to copy to clipboard. Can this be done inside the funnel builder? That's an interesting one. Can it be done? Can it be done without a form?
Custom code, yeah.
Um,
Are you sharing your screen?
well, right now I'm looking.
Because I go to code sites and stuff where they have like a code inside a text box. Like you'll find it on Reddit all the time where people are exchanging source code or something, and it's a field, you can't alter it. It's a unalterable field, and you just click copy next to it, or you can select the whole thing, but you can't alter it. And I was hoping to get a text box on my main page, on my main funnel builder page for our podcast, so that people could copy that directly, whether they're on mobile or on desktop, into their favorite podcast app and immediately find our podcast.
Are you able to hit inspect and then go over and find where it's at on Reddit where you like it and copy that code and then put your code in it?
I haven't tried that. I'm just hoping that there's something inside the funnel builder for this particular function. But I'm sure, with the funnel builder being geared more toward merchant sites and e-commerce and email funnels, it's probably a pretty niche-y feature to hope for. But there might be some custom code that could be used, which I haven't begun to look for it yet. But I figured, hey, we do a lot of this kind of stuff on this live, so why not ask, right? There's a whole heck of a lot of podcasters that are in our community, so
Yeah, I think that would help a lot.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Jim? If you can inspect it on another page and copy that code over.
Yeah, that's how I learned a lot of HTML, is by taking it from other pages. The problem with some of that is a lot of it's gone to server side now, so a lot of it you can't inspect off of pages anymore. But doesn't necessarily happen that way. Trying to see.
I need to find, like, what we need to do is we need to go to archive.org and find an old version of a website that does this and inspect that website.
Right.
Like go on the Wayback Machine,
Yeah,
and find something from the 90s. Find somebody's old MySpace profile where they're advertising their podcast.
So a little bit of a cheat here.
I'm always joking with Matt Martin about, like, if you leave the web design up to me, it's gonna look like MySpace. It's gonna have like some kind of glitter GIF in the background, some kind of MIDI music ringtone, some Guns N' Roses MIDI version playing in the background on my website.
So what exactly is the button that you're looking at?
Well,
I'm on Reddit right now.
I'm not sure this is going to work how I want it either. So this is a form, but am I going to be able to copy that? I don't think I'm going to be able to. That's going to go away once I put it in there. So what I did was I put a form with a text area that I filled it in, but that's not actually letting me. The placeholder's not actually there.
Yeah.
I do put our.
There's a way to do it, like with default text, right? Like a form that has an entry for default text. Just put try a text field. Just a regular
Well,
text.
that's what I have there now is a text field.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um,
What about a text area? Is
well,
that just a?
it's
That's where
just
we
a
just.
bigger, yeah. So I guess, I mean, why not just put text on it? What's the difference?
So the difference is, one is more easily identifiable as something that someone is supposed to copy and paste.
Right.
Jim, on our live page, there's a code and you can copy it. So why can't that be the
Yeah, but you can
RSS?
alter it. In this case, this would be a field of text that you can't alter,
Okay.
but it's easy to click in there and copy and paste it. With regular text that's on the page, yeah, you can copy and paste it. A lot of people have trouble actually like coordinating it where they actually are able to copy and paste it. But in a text field that's clearly a field, it's really easy to click in there and select the text and copy it. And the ones that have a button next to them where they copy it to the clipboard, it's even easier.
Yeah, why don't we have something like that?
Samcart has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samcart has it. Yeah.
Can
You
you
can
go
steal it from them?
I
I mean, we wouldn't steal.
Well, the same thing.
No one would
It's
steal.
probably PHP though, because well, here's a select. Copy this.
Maybe this is a Funnel Builder Friday thing. That we can
I don't even-
challenge the Titan of Tech.
I don't even understand what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, I have a podcast, right? And my podcast, while it is growing, it actually reached the goal that I set 2 months ago, and so we got to set a new milestone. So we're getting 5 plays a day, but I want to make it easier to find on the podcast apps. It does appear in search, but you kind of got to dig for it because my particular podcast is kind of a common niche, so it's getting buried among a lot of bigger podcasts. So you have to kind of scroll quite a ways to find it. But if people type in the RSS feed directly into their podcast app, if they copy and paste it, they immediately are taken to where they can subscribe to your podcast immediately. And it doesn't matter what podcast app, it works with all of them. So if they're not showing up in the search yet on the podcast app, the RSS feed takes it right there, and that improves your search rankings in the podcast apps. So that's what I'm trying to provide whatever easiest means that people can have to get the podcast into their favorite app, because most of like 66% of my listens are coming from Amazon Music, which I know for a fact that can't be everybody's preferred platform of listening to their podcast.
There's no way.
Yeah, that can't possibly be everybody's favorite app for listening to podcasts, but that's where 66% of my plays are coming from. And I think it's because it's just so difficult to find elsewhere. So
what about a social share button where you add a network not listed above? Could something like that work? It says
I don't
share
know.
URL.
Does it
It's
give
not-
you a?
It's not typical, but an RSS feed is a link, isn't it?
It is a link, but if you go to it, it just takes you to an XML, and it just opens the XML right in your web browser, which is useless.
Okay. would people know to copy the URL from there then?
I don't know. If it's displayed in a ways that it's clear that they're supposed to, but isn't it just going to show up as an icon? Which I don't.
I mean, once they clicked here and it loaded in a browser, would people know that they could then copy it from here?
Yeah, that's
Like,
too much. That's
too much?
not. No
Okay.
one's going to do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't, and I'm, tech savvy.
Right. And this is one of those things I don't know much about, and that's why I
Yeah.
asked that question because I don't know how RSS.
I'm trying to
works
make it as
much.
transparent and simple as possible for
Right.
for people, and especially people in my niche. There's a lot of non-tech savvy people in this particular niche. So
And the challenge of just putting a small column and a text block is sometimes it's hard to copy it. So even though it would look like you want it, it still wouldn't function like you want it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I'm sure Matt Martin has an idea of a solution with a little bit of code.
Yeah.
And maybe Mike will have a solution that's been done. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm positive there's a custom code out there or generator of some kind.
Usually, let's see, RSS copy code.
Just rename it Guns N' Roses. It'll come up first every time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably not quite.
Or just copy code. Copy code generator. No. Oh, there we go. Our code generator to copy values from.
Copy. Code generator. Open the location where the code generator is stored. Copy the folder containing.
No. There's a switch punch copy generator to copy values from.
Yeah, GitHub's.
Oh, that's yeah.
That's kind of tough.
That's like a resource.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll do some homework, and maybe that is a subject for a video that I could create.
Right.
So for all them podcasters and content creators.
I'm gonna put a link in the chat for you. Check this page out. Maybe
Okay.
try that. Check that out. It's got something on there on how to find the RSS code.
Well, I know how to find my RSS code. I have it.
Oh.
I'm trying to make it easy for people to copy my RSS code, my RSS feed code off of a page and then paste it into their favorite podcasting app.
Yeah.
So I've already got my RSS feed, which I know that there's a whole bunch of like a lot of podcasting platforms don't make it easy. And it is kind of a task because you have to actually disclose a real email address to for people to be able to contact you if you create an RSS feed link off your podcast. So even off of like Podbean or other platforms, even Amazon, the RSS feed is actually encoded in it is your email address. But all my email addresses are forwarding email addresses anyway, so it doesn't matter to me.
Sounds like a daunting task.
It can be, but some of the platforms make it easier than other platforms. I made sure to get my RSS feed because I wanted to make it easy to find. But now I'm trying to make it easy to not just to find because I publish it on every single post, but I want to make it easy for people to use because it's right there. it's in the show notes of every single episode. It's in every single social media post. So it's there. It's just,
Is it in your Facebook so I can share it?
yeah.
See, John, what he's kind of wanting to do is something more like this right here, where it says NASA image of the day. So
Yeah.
that you can click in here and just copy it.
Okay. Have a box with a word.
Yeah. And that's what I thought I was going to be able to do. But my form one, the words weren't actually in there. As soon as you click in, they disintegrate. So,
Yeah. Because they're just placeholders.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a simple way to do it, and when I figure it out, I'm going to make a video about it, because I think podcasters, people who are generating even the most rudimentary podcasts, if they want to grow, like that's one key to making it easier for people to obtain their podcast. So, and then maybe, like Mike's series of videos that he's made on DMark and stuff, I could make a video on every platform where to find your RSS feed, and do something like that, because I think, especially in our community, a lot of people trying to create content, and it's just another way to make your content easier to share.
All right, guys. Today's live was a little different than normal, so to speak, but nonetheless, we're here as a community. As you see, we're building a community of people helping people, and we're always trying to help others make more money, right? And that's really what we did today too, was help John get some things going for his little business of making woodworking things and using our funnel builder and using the tools that we have. And where we do that at is on this page here. And maybe you're here. If you're on my YouTube specifically, there is a link in the description to come on over here, and you can click this button right here to join our community. If you're not on my YouTube and someone else sent you here, look for a link in your email or wherever they sent you. And again, this button here will be tuned to you, and you can get access under whoever sent you here, and that you can get signed up with them. And then we'll help you. Whoever, doesn't matter who you sign up with, you can come back here and we'll help you make more money. And so, like I said, this episode was a little different. There's a bunch more episodes down below. I try to keep it at about 5 to 7 different ones. There's some more information down here about our community, our company, our social proof, and some Q&As down here. And then the replicating link like Kristi was talking about. And this one does work, but this one doesn't quite work how he wants either. I mean, it could, but you have to have it coded in up here. And the way this works is you would have to put in the link in the link in order for that to be in here. So the way this works is you put your token for HBA in here, you create your link by pressing the button, the page reloads, and the button that is now gone because it has a short timer on it will be coded to you. And that's how we help you to make sales with these daily-ish webinars. And you can see here that Kristi does a great job with these thumbnails to make our dailies look amazing.
So after they click that generate thing, then the URL that's up at the top is going to be the one that they would copy for their own use, right?
Correct.
For promoting themselves. Okay.
Absolutely. So if you put your token, and you don't have to do it through the box at the bottom, you can just put it up here, replace mine with yours. But this kind of makes it a little bit more foolproof, so that you don't make a mistake. All you have to do is put your token in here. And I often do it this way, put my name in here. Once I push this, you can see now it replaced my token with Jim Hall. And now it's
and you would get that token out of your SAM cart, right? Because you're already a part of the business.
Absolutely.
I've got one on my page.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
right.
I got one of my URL redirects set up for this page, so that's fantastic.
I seen that, Janine. It looks good.
Oh, thank you.
By the
Got
way,
me-
I
you got me
did put
beat.
into place your timer thing to
Cool.
forward to this page, so that's a much better way, and the links don't get broken when you share it in social media.
Cool. Yep. That is something I noticed early on, and I did talk about it a couple of days, and I haven't had anybody else mention that. So yeah, if it does break on you, always test your links. Test your links everywhere you put them. Make sure they're working, because you never know, what some platforms might do to them. And this particular link, for some reason, if you put it in our redirect system, it breaks in Facebook. It doesn't break if I just use it like this. If I just copy it and put it in Facebook, it doesn't break.
It's also
Once-
inconsistent too. I sent it to my friend, and he clicked on it the first time, and it took him right there. And the second time, it just took him to a page that didn't load anything.
Really weird. I know. Facebook hates affiliate marketing. So,
But you put it into a timer URL on a page with an address in the funnel builder, and it works every time, no matter where you post it. It's great.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I'm going to be out of town, and Kristi's going to be on a cruise. So we will most likely not be back until at least Tuesday. Hopefully we'll not push any longer than that, but at least Tuesday. So hold your questions until then, or
Have fun. I love you very much.
Yes. See you
the
guys.
rest of the community is around. So,
Bye.
all right. Have
Love
a
you
good day,
guys.
everybody.
Have
Love
fun.
you.
Bye.
Love you
Great
all.
day.
Great
Thanks
trip.
so much,
Stopping
Jim.
by.
Enjoy your
Kristi,
vacation.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thank you, Janine.
Have a
Thank you.
great
Love you.
day.